Okay, welcome to Strange Famous 2024 edition. I'm here today with Chad Smith, the King Lion, or the Chief Lion,
Exactly.
I guess. The Chief Lion of Five Lions Digital Marketing. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about wrestling. If you didn't know, this man's a pro wrestler. And we're just going to talk about, whatever might come up. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a second.
Relax, recharge, and refresh with Sweet Buds Dispensary, where quality meets care. From premium products to expert advice, we're here to help you find your perfect vibe. Experience Maryland's trusted source for wellness. Sweet Buds Dispensary, the natural choice.
When precision matters, trust Coppermine applicators. With top-notch coating solutions and exceptional service, we protect your projects from start to finish. Quality that lasts, expertise you can rely on. Coppermine applicators, built for durability.
Soldier Fit is more than a typical boot camp, martial arts school, or cookie cutter gym. Soldier Fit inspires confidence, builds character, and encourages camaraderie through a military-style workout, not only delivering results, but it's enjoyable. Join us today at soldierfit.com.
Well, welcome back to Strange Famous 2024 edition. I am here with my good pal, one of my very close African-American friends.
Wow, she had to throw it in there.
Chad Smith.
What's up, sis?
Hey!
Good to see you again, as always.
Bro, how you been?
Man, listen, I've been over here and just out here trying to get rich one of these days so I can, go buy.
You're not rich already?
Listen, I'm almost there. I'm
that
so close.
perspective on the internet.
Right? So
you
close.
Like you're balling out there.
I don't know where that came from.
You and Renee off in fancy places all over the world doing love camp things.
Well, it's ironic you say that because we're actually taking off for Bali in 2 weeks. So I'll be.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, we're suffering in Bali.
I know it's going to be terrible. I mean, someone has to go. Like, why not us, right?
And you're taking your 16-year-old son, right?
No, not this time around. No, not this time. I wish. The kid hasn't been on a commercial flight yet. I'm trying to get him on a flight.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on a flight soon.
He
Probably
just
next
turned
year.
16, right?
Yeah,
I just saw that.
a couple of days ago.
That's crazy.
It's silly, right?
It's wild how fast it's happening. My son's 16 too, and I cannot believe how fast it's happening. It's all just happening.
It just happens. I mean, I just turned 50 and he just turned 16, and I'm like, how do I look better than you? Like, it's crazy. How do I?
The comedy that you bring. So speaking of comedy, I had no idea. Wait, I don't even know if that's the right segue into this conversation.
Yeah, we need some context first.
So the other night I was watching this fight, right? I don't know, maybe you missed it. It was Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson and Jake Paul.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I watched it. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sake, people, the man is 60 years old, right? And coming from another aging athlete, right?
I'm just mad because I don't stay up that late. Like, I'm usually like 9:30, 9:45. Ask Kevin. I'm like tucked into his armpit. It's lights out. Good night. I'm done. That was not worth staying up for. In my opinion, it wasn't worth staying up for. The girls' fight was dope. I thought the girls' fight was
the best fight.
I'm sorry
on the card.
not to disrespect the girls. I don't know anything about the whole thing, but that was a good fight. It was a better fight.
The Tyson-Paul fight was just a spectacle. Mm-hmm. I mean, I literally, I wrestled on Friday night.
Well, yeah. That was the next topic. This was the segue.
But I came back and I watched the last 3 rounds of the Tyson fight, and I was like, listen, kudos for the old guys, right? The man was 60 years old. He got into phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
And he's going in there against a 26-year-old stud in the prime of his career, and people thought it was going to turn out differently. Come on.
No, that was crazy. It was insane, but it was good. I mean, okay, so I will give him this. It was entertainment, right? It was classic American. It was a classic American love story, really. If you think about it,
it was what we call in professional wrestling. It was a work.
Yeah.
But at the bottom,
look at the money that was made in just a matter of minutes.
Tyson made
$20
million.
Jake Paul made 40.
He made
$40 million.
And 60 million people tuned into that fight.
Yeah, and the memes that we got from
priceless.
I feel like there should be like a Webster's dictionary of memes.
Well, the ones from the election are way better, though. Those are way better.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, those are way better.
Oh, my gosh. The election was insane. Insane work. I thought it was going to end after the election, but the memes just kept coming.
Oh, no,
it's better and better every
day. We are
day.
in for the greatest political memes
of
our
American
history this next
the meme
4 years.
game is on fleek now.
I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. The memes are going to be amazing this next 4 years.
Well, I'm excited about all of those things, but I also saw a sneak video of you wrestling.
Yes.
So what the fuck, bro? What is this even? Excuse me, but that deserves an F-bomb. This is what real wrestling, WWE Voltage.
Right.
Voltage Wrestling.
Shout out to Voltage Wrestling.
Been around.
My man Mike Nolan.
Right.
Maryland.
You and Mike's been doing this thing for years now. It's getting pretty big.
Well, I was doing it before Mike was. Mike's a little younger than me, and Mike started Voltage Wrestling to give Western Maryland, or more specifically Washington County and surrounding areas, some nice family-friendly pro wrestling entertainment. So Lord knows why he brought me in, because Flex, my alter ego, Flex, is not family-friendly. But I had a great time. I'm 50 years old. I got started when I was...
Dude, you guys have got to go check out. I'm going to put links to this footage in the comments below. You're going to have to watch these videos because it's epic. I mean, you're getting thrown around, and I was like, I wouldn't be, even if you're just acting and staging that stuff out, like, you are really throwing yourself on the ground. Like, that is actually physically happening. So at your age, how does that feel? Like,
it hurts. it hurts like shit. Right?
I can imagine it's like a lot of ice involved afterwards.
Man, listen, it's a lot of calories and a lot of rest the next day, right? Yeah. But no, I got started when I think I was 21 years old. I got started. There was a training center in Hagerstown by, rest in peace, Neil Superior, Neil the Power of Superior.
Okay.
It was called the Superior Pro Wrestling Training Center. And at the time, his name was Neil Karakov. He tragically passed away in Ocean City. And his father brought in a guy named John Rambo, one of his good friends, to... that's his name, John Rambo. Yeah, John Rambo, to take over the school. So he took it over. I came to one of the free shows they were doing. I signed up that night because I was a big fan of professional wrestling. I loved. Now, I was an 80s era baby. So Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, right? Demolition, the Legion of Doom. Do you know any of these?
My grandma had like all the rubber toys of the wrestling guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I know all of them. And I actually... That was one of the toys that I was.
It was so much fun.
With. So I have a very strange, very expansive knowledge of wrestlers from that era.
I'm not sure if they had professional. I didn't know it went up that far. I didn't know it went into the isolated area that you grew up in. I didn't.
This was at my grandparents' house near Ohio. So this was not on the island. Yeah, no, we didn't have any wrestle toys up there. It was sticks and rocks.
I have an interesting
pine cones.
The one and only bar fight I ever got into was in Kent, Ohio, but that's another story.
Really? Did you throw a chair on him and stuff?
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah.
Pull out some of the wrestling moves in a bar fight.
See, that's the thing about
that would be freaking dope.
Side note: when you're a professional wrestler and you get into a bar fight, it looks like you're like on TV. I mean, that's the thing.
Stuff starts happening.
Yeah, people are throwing like fake punches. I mean, I don't know, but anyway, I started training and I graduated from the program and I started. Wrestling in paid matches. While you're in training, you don't get paid.
With Rambo.
Yeah, with Rambo. Then it was called the National Wrestling League, or the NWL, but we had our own culture, and we called it the House of Pain, right? So that's where we were unique because we were taught you hit hard in safe places. So our style was a lot more physical than what people would normally see on
You're really
television.
Hitting each other.
I mean, not to the point where we're trying to hurt each other,
right.
But we were used to wrestling in front of like tight crowds. So we had to, be a little stiffer than what you normally would be for like a big arena show, right? But my first big match, I wrestled Jerry the King Lawler right here in Frederick, Maryland at Fort Detrick. That was my big, my first like debut match. And I wrestled Jerry Lawler and I was so nervous. And I remember he came to the dressing room where all the young guys were. And he said, which one of you guys is Flex? I said, oh, that's me. So he says, how you doing? Jerry Lawler. Like, I didn't know who he was. He introduced himself to me like I didn't know who he was.
You're like, I have your poster.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like I've been following your career for like 20 years.
That's cool.
Yeah, but but we had a phenomenal match, and that match is basically what I built my entire reputation on, because it was such a good match. We had really good natural chemistry. We put on a hell of a show, and the crowd loved it. So after that, like I knew like I was good. You know what I mean? And I started getting booked for more and more matches.
That's so crazy. And so how many years ago was that now?
Oh, wow. I think that was, yikes, maybe 98, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 98.
Dang, so 26 years now.
That was a long time. That was a long time ago.
6 years.
But to answer your question, it hurts a lot more than it used to.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's a lot more ice and bang.
Oh, my Lord, man. I used to be able to like wrestle 2-3 nights a week and then train twice a week. Now, I'm in a match and I need like 3 days rest.
Dang.
Yeah, it takes a while to recover now.
That's wild, bro.
Mm-hmm. You want to try it? I mean, I'll get you in the ring.
I would love to.
You want to?
I would be a badass wrestler.
Ooh, strange, famous special edition,
I'm not afraid. You know me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I got to teach you how to throw what we call a work punch.
I'm already in pain a lot, so I might as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I deal with it. Shout out to Sweet Buds Cannabis Dispensary.
That's from dragging all those deer out of the woods.
It is. So speaking of this, like I have a story. The other night I got a buck, right? And Kevin has been hunting with me. Like, have you ever been hunting?
Not once.
Right. So
I kept asking you to take me. You never did.
I'll take you. I'll take you. I don't know if you'll. I mean, hunting is not like you just like, oh, we're gonna make an appointment to go hunt this deer and it's gonna show up on time. Like it's like you have to commit. You have to put in like tons and tons of time sitting there, not seeing anything. You know what I mean? For days and days. Sometimes you go out and it's the first moment and there's a deer and you get lucky and it happens. So it just depends. So we had sat a few times and not really had any luck. Saw a few deer here and there. But this buck came in and I got a decent shot the buck. It ran away like down this hill. We waited a little while, let it die, and then we went down to get it. And he got to watch me, get out my knife and start cutting it all up. And like, the way you gut a deer, like you grab it by the dick and you start cutting around and that's like the first part you cut off. And I like looked at, gutting this deer and I'm like, so are you turned on or are you scared? He's like, I'm turned on. I was like, all right, cool. We're
Karen,
good then.
She knows how to hide the evidence. I'm just saying, you better,
We'll
she
be all
knows how
right.
to hide the evidence.
We're going to make it. If we can get through that, I think we can get through just about anything. It's like, yeah.
If you can get through deer dick, right? Yeah,
if you can watch me do that, you can get through just about anything. But I mean, I really enjoy hunting. I think that as a person that's like interested in health and wellness and stuff, like eating venison, you work with Danny, right?
Yeah.
You work with the herd. Are you a part of the herd?
I was.
You were, okay.
Formerly.
But I mean,
phenomenal program, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the herd right now. I'm working with Danny, business coaching, going to the gym, whatever. And, I feel like it's all tied to what you put into your body. The fuel you put into your body is so important. And eating venison, for me, it's lean. It's something I can get that's affordable. I can replace steak, almost any recipe. And I can go and get it and know that it was, harvested,
it's not
whatever.
It wasn't. Anyway, it's not GMO.
It wasn't crammed in a little cage its whole life. Like, don't you think that, like, there's studies that show, like, if you're eating meat that's under stress, that the meat has a different, like, chemical bounce and, like, totally different. So,
yeah, plus all the stuff that they put into it. Also, because
hormones and
most people don't realize, like, and I spent 25 years in the health and fitness business.
That's what you were previously a trainer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is that to feed this entire populace that we have in the United States, like it is a tremendous industry, and you have to produce food consistently and quickly to feed the American appetite. So they have to do things that accelerate the growth of the animals. And because you accelerate their growth, they can get sicker easier. So now you got to pump them full of antibiotics. So you have them all full of this stuff, and then you eat as much as we eat of it, and you can't tell me that it's not doing things to us.
Yeah.
Like,
look at the eggs. Just look at the eggs you get from like Costco or Sam's. Like those eggs the shell is paper thin. The yolk is almost clear or white. There is very, very little nutritional value in those eggs. You go and get an egg from the farmer's market or right from a chicken. If you have had your own chickens, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It doesn't even look like the same product.
Bright
the
orange
shell is
yolk.
thicker. The shell's harder to break, right? The other ones. So, I mean, I could go on a whole episode about that, but that's one thing I'm really excited about with the current changes that are going to be happening with our country. Hopefully we'll get a better handle on health and
theory
wellness.
we will.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's something that will happen.
But keep in mind that the food industry is such a powerful lobby on itself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
it's so much money.
And they have so many,
money.
and it's not just that, but they also have people from that industry who now work in the government. So like I wish them luck, but the odds are really against them as far as making it. There's too much money in it for it to change in 4 years.
Well, we better not talk too much about it. We'll get Hillaried. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen.
Disappearing in some ditches.
Accidental headshot of suicide.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. She knew too much.
The plane went down from Bali. The plane went down. Well, you know, I used to write a weekly column for the Herald Mail in Hagerstown. Shout out to Hagerstown, you know, the whole 301 crew, Hagerstown. And I wrote a column about how to avoid corn syrup in your foods. And I got a letter, a cease and desist letter from the Corn Growers Association about how I can't talk bad about corn syrup.
Oh my gosh.
So you know me. You know what I did.
You talked more about
it. You're damn right I did. Yeah, for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they literally tried to sue me. But I protected myself because I used public research and public knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
freedom of speech.
I'm disseminating publicly released research and data. So like, sue the FDA, not me.
That's wild.
Yeah, so they dropped the suit. They didn't have a case.
That's insane.
Right? It's a lot of money. Like why would you come out? I'm in Hagerstown, man. Why are you coming after me?
Coming after me. Yeah. Out of all the people and all the things that you could go after.
I'm writing a weekly newspaper column to like 50,000 people in the middle of Western Maryland.
Well, I hate to do it, but I got to bring up a topic. It's something that you and I have talked about before on the air.
Please don't say Obama. Please, for God's sake. Okay, thank you.
It's another one of your favorite and my favorite people, though.
Okay.
Emily Keller.
Oh boy, what are we going here? Listen, there's only so much I can say. What's going on?
I went to this party, and we'll just say that I was sober. I wasn't drinking for once. I was really like on my best behavior. Thank you very much. Drinking some water, hanging out, doing my thing, and homegirl was getting her drink on. You know. No problem at all the whole time, and then get ready to leave, and she literally like stopped me as I'm getting ready to leave, and she's like, "You're Caroline Hutchison, aren't you?" And I was like, "I sure am Caroline Hutchison.
You're very famous."
Yes, I am.
Right.
And she was like, "Why did you put those devil horns on me?" Because I had drawn a picture of her and put like devil horns.
I didn't see that. Oh wow!
On social media back in the day, and I was like, somebody had to do it. You know, that was the first response I could think of when she said that. I was like, somebody had to do it. She was like, don't you ever come to my town again. In front of all these people at this party, made herself look like a. So shout out Emily.
What prompted this whole feud anyway? Like, where'd this come from?
Huh?
What prompted this whole feud? I never asked the origin of this whole feud.
The whole feud started because I didn't agree with what she was trying to do with Brooks House. Basically.
Okay.
I felt like she was going into politics and ignoring a lot of the reasoning behind what's happening. And just, she was leading into this whole thing with her emotions about overdosing and because what she had gone through with her friend. She lost a close friend, which I empathized. In the beginning, I was very empathetic to her situation when she was going through. And I do see that there's a huge problem. But I don't think that you can ignore all the other things going on in the city and focus her whole campaign. That was all her campaign was about. And I didn't agree with that. I felt like if that's the only thing we're focusing on, we're going to just ignore the problems we have with our schools. We're just going to ignore the problems we have with a lot of the other things going on. And I felt like the moment I just didn't agree with her 100% for like 5 seconds, she started bashing me, and then she went after some of my...
She bashed you like in public?
She called some of my clients and told them not to work with me and got them to stop working with me.
I will say this.
But this is what my problem with all of it is. Just like everybody got all like, oh my gosh, it's a taboo topic, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And it's reality. And why are we letting somebody like that that bullies people and slept her way through politics to get where she was? Why are we all just pretending like it's okay?
Look at this wild girl.
I don't care. I mean, it's the truth.
Listen,
we all know it's true though. And everybody's just like, oh, I don't want to say that. But why?
To be honest,
because
I
why?
don't know a lot about her personal life. Seriously. Yeah. I have worked with Emily on several things on an official level, but we never really like hung out on a personal basis. But I will say this. I will say this that I'm not a fan of politicians who have pet projects, right? I feel like if you're going to be on a city council, or if you're going to be a mayor, or if you're going to be on a county board of directors or commissioners, I feel like you have to work for the good of the entire constituency, right? And not just one pet project. Now, those things may be important, but you have to have a plan beyond that project. Right. You know what I mean? So you have to be representative for all the people that you're responsible for. Otherwise, if I'm fighting for this project, you're fighting for this project, like we're not getting anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about progress. And I look at what the city of Frederick has done and is doing. This is probably the most well-oiled city that I've been a part of. And like, kudos to the government, kudos to everyone in the business community, especially the Frederick Chamber of Commerce is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, just this city, to me, shows every day why it is the fastest growing city in the middle of the fastest growing county in the entire state of Maryland. I think from what I understand,
it's like the fourth fastest in the country
right
ridiculous. Now or something, isn't it?
From what I understand, and I could be wrong, so someone correct me, but I think this is accurate, that it's the only city in Maryland that has double-digit economic growth right now.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That
right?
is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if you're not working to model yourself like this city,
right?
I mean, you're making a big mistake. And there's a lot of things that go on. And I'm from Hagerstown, but there's a lot of things that are happening in Hagerstown that are severely impeding progress. And I hope with the new additions to the council and with the new mayor, I'm hoping that, things can take a turn and get back on track.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I saw the stadium. I went to a game and everything. It's a beautiful stadium.
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
But it's kind of like, it also is kind of like, isn't that deterring people from going to some of the smaller businesses, or, is it taking business away? It's kind of like, where do you find balance in a city like that? That's really, they put like all their eggs into one basket right now. And is it succeeding? Are we probably not going to know that for a while, whether it was a good decision or not? You know what I mean? But I feel like this summer I went to a couple of games and it seemed like a good opportunity for the city to have something new and exciting and a nice new shiny thing. But it's like, is that going to be sustainable? Is it going to keep drawing traffic the way it did the first season? I guess we'll find out.
There's a lot of questions and differing opinions on the stadium. I was just talking with a former member of the city council today, who shall remain nameless, and this individual and I were thinking that, it was part of a group, so we were all talking together. But one thing that came up was, if you look at the amount of money it took to build the stadium, I think it was like $90 million. Like, what if we took that same $90 million and we created a small business grant program to actually get some businesses open and running downtown? What if we took that and we gave some renovation grant money to rehab some of the old storefronts that are there? Like, what if we reallocated that money to actually make downtown Hagerstown a destination? Yeah. Right? So, I would think that would have been a better use of that money, in my opinion. Like, that $98 million or $90 whatever million that it was could have done so much more good
Yeah.
if it were reallocated towards something that would create immediate impact.
Yeah. I agree, but now it's kind of like it's there.
It's
so
there.
now hopefully they'll find ways to utilize it to do better and bigger good in the community. We'll see. I mean,
we'll see. The jury's out.
we'll
so
see what happens.
we'll
I mean,
see.
I just moved into the incubator in Hagerstown. Like, you know, I've just started doing business up in Hagerstown. So I'm still working in Frederick, working in Hagerstown, but expanding into that area and finding that, in my opinion, Hagerstown is slower moving for sure. Like, it's slower to get everything's a little slower in Hagerstown than it is in Frederick.
Well, you know why, right?
Why?
Because the people of Hagerstown, Maryland have been burnt so many times with promises and potential. Those are the two words that come up most often when I look at the history of Hagerstown. They're always given promises and they always talk about potential. But when it comes time to deliver the promises, like something always happens that shuts everything down or slows it down or makes it not come to fruition. The stadium project should have been built like 20 years ago. Seriously.
That's when it was started.
Yeah, that's when they started talking about it.
Wow.
It was about 20 years ago. I was on one of the the focus groups from the local business community, and that was back in I think Don, my son, was a baby, and he's 16 now. So it's probably about 15 years ago. So we just got it. So, but it's always promises and potential.
Yeah.
So you got to get some more wins. Like you got to find some more low hanging fruit that you can say, hey, we're making progress. Like this is what we have to get done. This is what we have done, and this is what's coming next. Like the crime problem in Hagerstown. There seems to be two camps in law enforcement. There's the kinder, gentler police officers camp, and then there's the let's go crack some heads camp, right? So you got to find the medium, and you have to make progress, and that's what I'm hoping that the new council and new mayor can deliver is like some wins for the city.
Yeah. I mean, I know that crime is crazy. You had the sheets that just got shut down, the new sheets open, and they've already gotten like a ton of crime reports and stuff for the new sheets. It's just become
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the new sheets has become like another like location, I guess, for
Wasn't
people
that
to
the
come
idea of building the new sheets?
That's
Was
what
to
I
get
thought,
away
but it
from
just,
the
like,
crime area?
migrated down the road.
They followed it.
Yeah.
They follow sheets.
But that's the common pattern in I think a lot of the areas that you just like, oh, we'll just move over here. We'll just move over there. We don't fix the problem. We just like, oh, let's just cover it up and go here. But I digress. I digress. I don't know. I feel like there's so much to look forward to. Frederick's growing. Let's focus on the positive. Let's hope that the stadium in Hagerstown does turn out to be a good thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
And like you said,
hope it
with
does.
the new leadership, maybe it will be a turnaround. That would be a wonderful outcome.
Shout out to Caroline Anderson. Shout out to my girl Erica from Tribe, new council members. Shout out to Big Bill McIntyre, new mayor of Hagerstown, Maryland.
Nice. Yeah. I met him a few weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
That was your first time meeting Bill?
Yeah, it was at one of the chamber events.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah. Bill's a good guy, I think, and he's been a business owner downtown, so... Well, not downtown, but in Hagerstown, and Erica and Caroline are both business owners. So I feel like they're bringing some fresh perspectives to the city government. I think it's really good for it.
Good. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I feel like if you have a website, any information you can give people about your business now, and now you do marketing, now you're chief lion of Five Lions Digital Marketing.
The award-winning Five
Lions
Lions Digital Marketing, if you will, right here in Frederick, Maryland. Yeah, www.5lionsmarketing.com. No letters, only words.
Okay.
Yeah, we are your...
We'll put the details in the, down in the deets.
The little magic box down there.
We'll put it down there.
We're your outsourced marketing geniuses.
Yeah, looking for some lead generations, some good marketing tips. You can hit up the boy.
Because... we got to talk about some YouTube stuff because, you're the YouTube master.
YouTube it.
Yeah, you're the YouTube master. I got to talk to you about that.
So one last question I want to ask you. Are there any books or anything that you've recently read or any books you would suggest? I've been trying to get everybody to put a book in that they read, or something that inspired you? A book that you read that inspired you?
Yeah, there was a book that I really read. It was really good. It was called Influence by Robert Cialdini. That was really good. It's all about the science of persuasion. It's a really good book. Yeah, it's a really good book. And then there's another one called Your Next 5 Moves.
Okay, I've read that
have
one.
you read that one too?
Yeah.
That's great too. It's all about business strategy. It was so good I bought a copy for my son for his birthday.
Is that Patrick Bet-David?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, great book.
He also has another one that I love that I recently read. It's Choose Your Enemies Wisely by Patrick Bet-David. Very good book.
Choose Your Enemies Wisely. All right, I got to find that.
Yeah, that's a good one. So, all right, cool.
Are you going to start the Medina Media Book Club?
Well, I'm just thinking it would be cool to have like a collection of books that, my guests recommend, like books recommended by my guests.
The Strange Famous Library.
Yeah, like something that all my dope, cool people use as inspiration. And, I would consider you to be kind of dope and cool.
I mean, I appreciate that. I'm glad I have your endorsement. So if I ever run for office, you'll be my campaign manager.
Oh my gosh, you would never want that. I know you wouldn't want that.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Campaign manager.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine us doing a campaign together for politics?
Man, that would be amazing.
Hey, I mean, that's probably the change the world really needs, honestly.
Exactly.
That's what it needs.
And here's the thing. You and I have pretty different political views. But if you think about it, but we all want the same things. We're both parents, we're both business owners, we're both tax-paying residents of a growing city. We really want the same thing. So we have a lot more in common than we have differently.
100%.
Yeah. So really,
I think most people are like that. They just don't want to believe it, or they want to stay so that they have something that they're like holding on to.
It's the tribalism
like a control.
part of
Like I have
politics.
control of this. This is my feeling. It's valid.
Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants their team to win. Just like
totally.
Game Day Sunday.
Totally agree.
Well, I'm proud of you. You're doing so good, and thank you for inviting me in tonight. I'm gonna enjoy it. You have no idea.
I'm sure you will.
I'm gonna shut down. And the cool thing is like Bali is 13 hours ahead of us here. So
back in time.
Exactly. I said people are going to be getting emails and phone calls from me the earliest that they ever have in my entire
in the future.
Right, because I'll be working at 8:00 at night, but it'll be like 10 a.m. here. Yeah, so they're going to think that I'm really on top of the schedule now. I'm in Bali.
You think you lost your mind. He's finally lost it.
Wait, is Chad up before 8?
Yeah, that makes sense. He's finally lost it.
Exactly.
All right, dude. I'll see you later.
Hey, love you.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Strange Famous, hosted by Caroline Hutchison, produced by Medina Media Productions, audio by Frederick Recording Studio, video by Beaver Enterprise Group. It's sponsored by Sweet Buds Dispensary, Coppermine Applicators, and Soldier Fit. Visit us online at strangefamousshow.com.